The headlines reflect a dark and uneasy feeling in our society. Some elected officials share this sentiment. All people with special needs face one common challenge: acceptance. State Senator Joan Menard recalls hearing opposition to people with disabilities.
What right do people have to come into the neighborhood and put people who are different in our community? It's always difficult for people to change.
Staff trainer Jack Yates shares the story of Ken, a person who was institutionalized for much of his life.
Dottie says, the weirdest thing just happened. I was talking to Ken and the boss says, you were talking to Ken? Like sarcastic? Like Ken doesn't count? Why would you talk to somebody like Ken? You're talking about devaluation, right? Even by a human service worker without meaning to. You're talking to Ken? Yes, I was talking to Ken, listen man. And I said, hey Ken, if you can hear me, blink your eyes twice. He blinks his eyes twice. The boss says, Ken is a vegetable. Get back to work.
State Representative David Sullivan recalls his time working with the Department of Mental Health.
The population that I was dealing with mental health, there was a stigma attached, something that we've tried to attack over the years.
But as people got to know these people and their parents and their families, they started getting more comfortable with it.
In 1968, People Incorporated began the long journey of helping those in our society with varying abilities gain the respect and assistance they deserve. With caring leadership, programs were designed and developed to help those in need. Group homes opened to care for those unable to care for themselves and to assist their families. Educational, employment, therapeutic, and recreational programs were designed to help those in need gain some of the acceptance in society they had previously been denied. In 2003, People Incorporated chose Robert Canuel as its president and CEO.
I had worked at People Incorporated back in the 70s, and from the time I left the organization to do some of the other things I did with my career, I always had a spot in my heart for the agency.
With a clear vision for better and more innovative programs, Bob Canuel set out to improve the methods which nonprofit agencies use to perform.
It's meant an awful lot to our agency in terms of being able to develop, a creative program that really brings a lot of different community aspects together.
Helping our community by involving our community is truly a method for success.
I began to see that there was a need for a more of a business model in terms of how nonprofit organizations are run, that the idea of profit is not a bad thing. It's an essential component to helping an organization stay viable and healthy and be able to provide for the people that we're supposed to be providing for. The Human Service Academy, I think, is a perfect example. We talked about that. There was no way for us to get that funded. We started it with seed money that came out of the reserves of our organization, and within a 2-year period we had secured more than $150,000 in funding supports from not only legislative grants but also from our own funding source, Department of Mental Retardation, and the local Workforce Investment Board.
Since 1968, People Incorporated has consistently introduced programs supporting children and adults of all abilities. In recent years, the creation of new and innovative programs has had a positive impact on the Greater Fall River community, and we're not stopping here. People Incorporated will continue to expand and offer more services to all we serve.
I remember clearly how excited Some of my students were, when they were able to go to work, I would see them waiting outside their lunch, and they'd be there a half hour early.
I've seen many opportunities come about for jobs for people that we work with, and people who are business people who have said, gee, Bob, I didn't know you did maintenance and janitorial work, and we have this opportunity. Our janitorial company left, or we're not happy with the quality of the work. We are an organization that has annual services that we provide in the vicinity of $13 million a year. We have almost 400 employees. We have a variety of creative and innovative programs that we've developed with the community.
As we look back on our years of dedicated service to our community, we take comfort in knowing we have come a long way on our path. This is due in large part to caring businesses, organizations, and people like you. As we continue on our path into the future, we know there is so much more to do. We must find new and innovative ways to help those we serve get the assistance and the acceptance they deserve.
We've got some real challenges in the state and with state funding.
Now, more than ever, we need your help. We just can't say no to those who truly need our services.
We live in economic times that are tight and continue to become more tight as the dollars that are available for programs like ours do not stretch to meet the need that continues to evolve.
Help us do what is right and offer those we serve the ability to continue on their path to opportunity.